we initially tried to get that to California, and it was like absolutely not. We haven't really tried everything with this one yet because it's a little newer. But we've had a couple people come by and say it's not coming.
First time we use hearing aid technology, and they put it into a device for two-way radio. So it's replacing the traditional acoustic tube earpieces. It's very discreet. I actually have it on, so you can see what it looks like right here. Highly calibrated.
Wow.
Very small, very discreet. It's lightweight, and you can actually wear it for your 10, 12, 14-hour shift with zero ear fatigue. I've had mine in since 8 a.m. in the morning, and once you put it in, you cannot move, which is great. The most important thing, though, is that it allows you to have full situational awareness. So unlike traditional earpieces, those kind of block and drown all of your ambient noise, this allows you to have radio traffic, but you also have your surroundings, which is so important. And that's it. That's the product. You have radio traffic and your surroundings. So it's for two-way radio. It's either going to plug into like an existing speaker mic or a push-to-talk mic.
시애틀 인그레이빙 센터라는 회사인데요. 무슨 나르코스들이 좋아할 그런 장식이 된 총기입니다. 이게 은근히 굉장히 싸 보이는데 하나 있었으면 좋겠네요.
Good morning and welcome to SHOT Show 2023. I'm Todd McDunn with Eagle Industries Aircrew Systems. Today what I'd like to talk to you a little bit about is the difference between our standard tactical nylon products here at Eagle Industries and what you see behind me and our aircrew specific systems. So right off the bat, when you look at a guy kitted up in an Eagle Industries aircrew system, it looks much like some of our other designs for use on the ground. The one thing that automatically that comes to mind, you see with all of these orange tags, all of the items, to every single pouch, every single panel, every single adapter are all fire retardant to the military spec. So they don't burn and they don't cause burn injuries to the aircrew member in the event of a mishap. The difference between a ground operator and an aircrew member is we not only have to carry the ammo for our primary weapon system and our secondary weapon system, first aid like anyone else does, communications equipment, but we also have a myriad of other things that are very unique that can't be addressed with a standard loadout of pouches that anyone else would buy. So just kind of to show the difference here, we always have to consider the fact that we have to restrain aircrew members in the cockpit other than just seat belts, because a lot of the crew members are moving around in that cockpit, moving around in the cabin area, and need to be restrained. So all of Eagle Industries aircrew vests accommodate a full aircrew harness, or at least a chest strap, belly strap, and rigger's belt configuration. This has a full harness in it, emergency extraction in the front, and restraint tether in the back, which would attach to some portion of the aircraft, securing that crew member. This particular release is beautifully designed by Survival Innovations, which we work with, and it is released here in the front. So in the event that you need to release yourself and get away from the aircraft, you just pull this handle here, and that opens a trap in the release, and you're then free from the aircraft. Of course, then they would be on a restraint tether, which is very many different lengths. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact that you always have to address over water operations. So you always have to have some type of flotation system. Most of the units that I deal with use horse collar versions like this one here, but we also do water wing versions. So all of our aircrew vests are cut low, so you have the capability of taking like a LPU-10 and wearing that under your armpit. This can accommodate also even old school like LPU-21 types that run over the shoulder and then run all the way down the back and attach in the front. And then also we can do belt mounted systems like the Pecky types with two beaded handles on both sides, and those are worked into our belt systems. The other thing an aircrew member has to deal with that most others don't is emergency egress underwater. So we have a number of pouches that fit every known HEAD type helicopter emergency egress device on the market. They're all compatible with the MOLLE system, and those are mounted at different locations. Like this one here, this is a SEA Mark II from Aqualung, USA, and I have it mounted here on the front, but it's got a second stage with a hose, so you can mount that on the back. Just depends on your tactics, techniques, and procedures. So you can then run the hose over and have the regulator mounted up front here for yourself. The other things that we have to worry about is signaling devices. We have pouches for all the different types of signaling devices used by US and NATO countries. flares, strobes. This is a SMS2000 strobe. We build these in such a way that we try to make it to where you can utilize this thing as in its pouch, you know, in its current configuration, so that you don't have to pull it out and drop it and lose it in the water or something like that. It's a nice feature. Another thing we have to address is being able to cut our way out of our seat belts and things like that. So we have special pouches for all the different types of cutter devices. Radios, our radios are always, as opposed to a ground operator, our radios are always bigger because they're survival radios and they have different capability. So those are always a lot larger. We have a full complement of almost every survival radio system on the marketplace now, a pouch for that. We also have pouches for the extra batteries, and we've got antenna sleeves to protect your antennas from getting hung up in the aircraft, all types of things. So the last thing I'll address is kind of all the pouches and panels and adapters. Again, all of these are fire retardant, whether first aid kit, administrative pouches, chest straps, which you can use for emergency extraction, tethers to attach people into like a little bird's pods, intercom system stuff. We've got oxygen regulators where your high altitude breathing oxygen is also addressed, and routing for that as well. So belt systems, we have a number of fire retardant belt systems that are commensurate with what we sell for a ground operator. We got these in all modern cuts using laminate, fire retardant laminates, and laser cut capability with quick releases of many different types. This one has actually got a full climbing belt on the inside and then an operator's gun belt on the outside with the capability of a pass-through for attachment to the aircraft. So these are just some of the differences from the Eagle Industries standard equipment for operations on the ground. Eagle Industries aircrew systems are very unique and very specialized, and we are very proud to be able to offer these items to the end user aircrews throughout the world. I'm Todd McDunn from Eagle Industries Aircrew Systems. Thanks for stopping by.
Here we have the Breacher and the Combat Mk2. They have been both updated. The Combat, to start with, has been a very good name, so we kept it here in the line with the Mk2 version. It has been redesigned completely. So starting with the sole package, which is has a very good grip. It's a Vibram compound with the rappelling zone here on the medial side, and supported also with a rubber toe cap and heel cap. This makes the look overall more authentic and more modern. We used to have a complete rubber end in the past, but the zone where you need the most protection is in the front and in the back of the boot. The leather has a special treatment to basically reflect the sun and have less temperature affecting the boot. There's a two-zone lacing, as you know from other models of Lova, with the locking hook here, and we have a protection which is here on the side. It's an ankle shield. This is only a design element. The protection is inside, but located slightly differently in the outside and on the medial part of the boot, because the anatomy of the ankle is different on one side and on the other side. The lacing system has also here a tongue pouch to put the lace inside, and we have a quite big loop at the back of the boot to manipulate also with gloves. The the whole boot is much lighter than it used to be in the past, and also a little bit more flexible. It's state-of-the-art design and performance today, and all our testers appreciate quite a lot already the performance of the boot. With the breacher, we are at the same type of construction. Of course, here we're using different materials with the split leather and textile cordura inserts, just to make the boot much more breathable. So you have the breathability in the tongue, in the side window, and also here in the cuff. It's existing also in different heights, the same 8-inch or 6-inch height, and in different colors, available in desert, coyote OP, and brown and black. So those are the two boots in the family, Breacher and Combat MK2.